Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise news analyst Emmanuel Great Malabite Efene. Great Malabite,
good morning, Ruben.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rufai. Good morning, Victoria. Tundu, MQ Abiola.
Morning, Mr.
The award-winning
Fede.
analyst.
Thank you.
Trying to remind us that you are still a lawyer.
Every so often I do.
Now, let's start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. Now, the lead story, your utterances are reckless, careless. Southern Middle Belt Alliance tells NEF, the Northern Elders Forum, says one not assumption delusional, advises region to put purported numerical strength to productive use. Yes, the issue of rotational presidency continued to spark controversy, but it took a different dimension with that utterance from Akim Baba Ahmed, the spokesperson for the Northern Elders Forum. And I listened to the soundbite a short while ago. I must say it sounds careless, really. That's the best way to put it. And the issue of whether it's a political game, I think it's more serious than that. Because we're in this country when a certain Muhammad Buhari contested for the presidency 3 times against Northerner, against Southerner, and he lost. It took a certain politician all the way from Bodilion Road in Lagos to bring him into the thick of things, and he won. So the convoluted reasoning of Akim Baba Ahmed, because sometimes he was, I don't know whether he was speaking for himself or the Northern Elders Forum at that point. Recall the presidency once called the Northern Elders Forum one-man riot squad. So perhaps we shouldn't just assume that he's speaking for all genuine Northern elders. But the use of the word class in itself is vexatious, because it said the North will not be second class to any region. So you have to keep the presidency to be first-class citizens. I think that is reckless, because just as the so-called population, you said God has blessed the North with, I also want to remind you, God also blessed one region with oil, and we are all enjoying the oil in this country. So much for boasting, because, yes, they aptly describe it as a boast from Akim Baba Ahmed, but we just add an empty boast, because the records of politics, and like Tundu rightly mentioned, you cannot win if you don't have the spread. Can you win only the northern states and become president of Nigeria? Tells you that your reasoning is hollow, porous, and whatever adjective you want to add. And I know Rufai has a lot. Now, let's look at other newspapers quickly. Yes, the leadership newspaper, still on the same story. Northern, Southern leaders disagree over 2023 presidency. Is Igbo presidency or nothing, says Ohaneze. No, not must retain power, Northern coalition vows. Afenifere Pandev fault NEF population claim. Niger Delta activists back Southern governors. Oshibaju, sellable in 2023. Governor Sule. Nigeria's unity unshakable, federal government. Now, the Guardian newspaper. Higher electricity cost overwhelms Southeast businesses. Consumers to pay more for electricity from January 2022. Electricity now represents 80% production cost. 20% of industries in Akwa Ibom, Cross River have shut down. Households lament frequent hikes. Manufacturers Association of Nigeria calls for urgent intervention. Yes, the Guardian reports, with an average of about 70 billion naira spent on alternative energy yearly by local manufacturers due to poor power supply. Many industrial firms and businesses in Southeast and South-South are struggling to sustain their operations, with many already suspending productions, according to a survey carried out by the Guardian newspaper. Now, the Sun newspaper, also on electricity, the lead story: subsidy removal deadline, electricity tariff to rise. Policy takes effect from January 2022. Organized private sector, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria lament inefficiency, says hike will increase hardship. But just beside the masthead, sit at home. Aba residents defy IPOB. Shun directive to open markets, offices, others. Partial observance in Enugu. Now, the Punch newspaper. Apapa gridlock persists. Lagos blames MPA. Manufacturers Association of Nigeria laments losses. NPA closes gates to trucks without reason. Someone lose aid. Manufacturers urge government to develop ports outside Lagos. Businesses losing billions of naira to port congestion, says Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Now, the Apapa gridlock, one headache that both the vice president, who once took an helicopter overview of the scenario, and, of course, Sanwo-Olu, the governor of Lagos State, who rolled his sleeves. I remember that he was wearing a long sleeve when he took a tour of that area and promised to solve the problem. But that problem is lingering and businesses are suffering. Property owners in Apapa will tell you their story. Devaluation of property, property in Apapa, many had to abandon their businesses in that area and relocate elsewhere. I can tell you that for free. We know what we suffered at this day and what we are still suffering. Now, Daily Independent newspaper: 30 state civil servants face bleak future in retirement. Yes, according to this report, a number of states are yet to put in place proper structure for pensions contributions since the introduction of Pension Reform Act in 2004. And I will just name some of the states: Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, of course, Gombe, Taraba, Yobe, and in the northeast zone, we have Nasarawa, Niger, Benue, Kogi states, as well as Zamfara. So these workers of these states need to actually put pressure on their government to do the right thing. The states include Abia, Ebonyi, Enugu, Imo, Anambra, as well as, southwest states of Ekiti, Ogun, Oyo. They are yet to implement the pension reform and reflect that in their day-to-day activities by way of contributory pensions. Now, the Daily Trust: how Boko Haram crisis killed 300,000 children in Northeast. Young boys used as suicide bombers, many died of malnutrition. 1 million others displaced in 12 years. Attacks on children must stop, UNICEF. ISWAP intensifies recruitment, Army says. Experts: government must restore civil authority in ungoverned territories. Now, that is the Boko Haram story from the Daily Trust. Now, the Vanguard newspaper: Obasanjo to federal government. Accumulating debt for incoming government criminal, says borrowing for recurrent expenditure is folly. If there's one man who has the right to make this kind of statement, then it has to be Obasanjo, because during his tenure, he ensured that all our debts were wiped out, giving a clean slate for incoming governments, and perhaps he thought he was giving a clean slate to generations unborn. But Alas, in 6 years, the Buhari administration has been going a borrowing and a borrowing. Now, let me just
And you goes a borrowing, goes
a
a
sorrowing. So, for generations unborn, well, we hope the next government will try to put things right. Now, the Times of UK, dozens of energy firms will be left to collapse. Households face higher bill after ministers reject bailout. Yes, millions of households face higher gas and electricity prices after government said it will not bail out energy companies on the brink of going into administration. Yes, Kwasi Kwarteng, the business secretary, said no rewards for failure or mismanagement. If you mismanage a company, we allow that company to go down. That's what the UK government is saying. Now, the Wall Street Journal, stocks record biggest slump since spring. Yes, concerns over Chinese property market send indexes down, broadly snapping recent calm. Of course, the S&P 500 took a tumble yesterday, and the worst since May. But the main story in the front page, of which I will want to highlight, the front page of Wall Street Journal, is Pfizer vaccine found safe for children as young as 5. And before long, of course, the prospect of broader vaccine coverage will be actualized with this Pfizer, with his partner, BioNTech, saying that they have found that after tests, the vaccine can be safe at the right dosage for children as young as 5. Ruben Rufai and Tundu. Rufai, you want to kick off?
Yes, so I think Pfizer keeps pushing the envelope with BioNTech. That's to show you that science is the future. And you see, when we keep talking about the Naira, we want the Naira to do well. But you see, to grow the Naira in the long run, we have to invest in science and technology. Just imagine the amount that BioNTech is bringing to the German economy now because of this mRNA technology. Just imagine, for every profit that comes in from the sale of this vaccine, and there's a split, BioNTech takes a certain, at least they'll pay taxes. Just imagine how much taxes, foreign exchange you're paying to the German economy. And that's why, for us to grow our currency, and we're happy we have the e-Naira, businesses support it, for us to grow our currency, we must do the hard work in the long run, which is invest in education, invest in science. Because we want companies to come out of Nigeria that can build submarines, that can make vaccines, and the money comes back to Nigeria. And it is only leadership that can do it. That's why 2023 matters a great deal.
Well, there's no bullet theory as to how to move the country forward. But yes, as Kingsley Moghalu said yesterday, we need to invest in education so that we can produce a generation that is competitive. And then we have to make this economy productive and competitive. And maybe perhaps everything would fall in place. But who is going to do it? All of us, I guess. Collective responsibility. Thank you very much, Emmanuel Efeni, the great Malabite.
Yes.
Representing us very well.